Aloha, everyone. Welcome in another episode, you mother fathers of the Side Hustle Podcast. Kyle Cornell, Double A Anthony Alford with you. As always, of course, streaming across all the different platforms, both audio and visual, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app, whatever, all that stuff.
We got it.
We do.
We got what you need. Real quick, kudos to the...
Wrong side.
I know. I looked at the screen instead of...
No, that's your problem.
Yeah. Cleveland Guardians. Right now, I believe first place. First place at the AL Central.
Not hard to do when your division's shit.
Well, here's the problem. I wish every other year that's true. This year, it's not. This year, Cleveland went on, a crazy, 8 or 9 game win streak? 9 game win streak, Pete? Guess who's right behind them? Right behind them. Kansas City Royals.
We've been bad for 10 years. It's about time they were good again, so there you go.
Yeah, but
they won the World Series, and they just ate shit for the past decade.
But come on now. Of all years, like Browns fans, oh, well, the Browns won 11 games a few years back, but we finished in third place in the division because we had the 3 of the best teams in the division in the AFC. Well, it happens. So, but the Cleveland Guardians, great start to their season so far. 2 months in, they survived Memorial Day.
Yeah, only a half game back of the real best team in the MLB. So,
look, here's the thing. We just got to get to the playoffs. You get there, best of 5. Anything goes. Anything goes in baseball. The baseball playoffs, as you are well, and for those who don't know, Kyle's a Yankees fan. As you are well aware, the baseball playoffs, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually put the baseball playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs as the 2 best postseasons in pro sports. I know the NFL obviously is king. And then the NBA, you could get talking points out of it. But as far as, who's the better team that day, who has the best, the pitching rotation has to be good one time to win a series and to win a round. And then same deal when you advance on to the next round. And then, dare I say, I am afraid of the wild card round, best of 3. Because you have a bad day, and it's all over. But that's the thing. That's why this Kansas City Royals thing is frustrating me because, if Kansas City's right there, if they overtake Cleveland for as great as the season could be, Cleveland could be in that wild card and they get slotted against, a team from the American League East, get slotted, who knows what could happen that week.
Because every year there's 4 teams from the AL East that somehow find a way to either make the playoffs or get real close. So it's
crazy.
The talent in the division is just stupid.
Crazy. So and I want to also point out one other thing. If you watch last week's episode, you realized that we were not wearing this much clothes. It was about, I would say, 30 degrees warmer last week.
Yeah, you're about to get like a parka or a blanket or something. You look like you're a little chilly.
It's not good for video.
No, it's not.
It's not good for video.
Or audio. No one has any idea what you did. If you're listening to the audio version, Double A just threw his hood up.
I did. Glad you got that visual. Okay. I have to give props to AEW.
Oh, fuck.
You remember this from last month? So we talked last month. I was so frustrated with AEW. And people were wondering, why are the ratings down?
Still down.
Why are people not watching? Like, what are the ingredients to the ratings falling? What are the ingredients?
It's a shit pie.
They did not eat pie. So this is what they did the first quarter hour after AEW Dynasty a month ago. And Dynasty, I went to Dynasty. I thought it was an amazing pay-per-view. But all the positivity from that pay-per-view, none of it carried over to AEW Dynamite. So remember, they led off with the Young Bucks and Jackless Perry, and then Orange Cassidy, who wasn't on the pay-per-view, shouldn't have been on Double or Nothing either. He's in the opening segment. John Moxley has an IWGP Championship.
Oh God, did you?
And then
hold on, before you continue, did you buy AEW Double or Nothing?
I did not. No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
I almost walked out.
No. No, this week has been busy.
You talked about it like you saw it and like watched all of it. And I'm like, man.
No, I saw King of the Ring live because it's on Peacock.
I was moving this weekend,
I know
so I missed both.
Yes,
I never watched it. I just honestly just looked at the highlights.
So I saw King of the Ring live, and then of course saw the results of Double or Nothing. But this was their quarter hour, the first one right after a hot pay-per-view, not taking any advantage of the pay-per-view. Last night, this is what they did. Sasha Banks is the new TBS champion. She's one of your high-paid stars. She opens the show with a promo. Okay, fine. She opens the show with a promo. 8:07, which is what Kyle's elbow is blocking at the moment. The Young Losers.
Sorry, I didn't...
I'm still not a fan of the Young Bucks, but whatever, fine.
Why did I not take fucking Tylenol before I came into the studio today?
AEW pay-per-view review package, a quick package. Oh, also real quick with Sasha, they immediately transitioned to a new feud with Sky Blue.
Oh, I wish I cared.
Sky Blue is, I don't really care about her character, but
she's a very attractive woman. But of course, we'll finish your finish.
I'll finish it here, and then Swerve Strickland comes out. He faces Kill Switch again, as I told you before the show, and they go to break at 14 past. A better quarter hour. A better quarter hour. Again, I mentioned this. I told you this before the show. I told you and Pete this before the show. If you're in the same household as a honor roll student and your brother or sister is not doing as well in the classroom, sometimes your parents will reward the person who doesn't do as well in the classroom for doing, C plus B minus level work. And that's what this is.
Reaching.
That's what this is.
Reaching.
I'm not saying this is not perfect. It's not perfect. It's obvious. It's very clear at this point that Tony Khan does not trust his world champion to talk. I think that's very clear.
Which is dumb because it's what half his work was talking and getting over.
Yeah, there's no trust in talking. MJF, who was the hot guy coming out, you said immediately no MJF to open. MJF, by the way, was not even mentioned in the first initial minutes of the show other than the little video package there. So not even mentioned. So some things to work on, but we talk about improvements. We talk about, hey, as you learn something, anything. And I'll say this. This is a start. Thoughts?
How is this a start? They start the show with the girl that can't fucking talk. And it's been noted that everyone has hated her presentation and her promos. So let's give her a promo to start the fucking show. When you've got 3 other people you could conceivably go with to start the show that are automatically just better and will keep the rating. How is this better? Young Bucks are still on TV next. Swerve gets to face another random person that has no inkling towards his championship. And then picture in picture. This is just as bad to me. Double A's in the business of rewarding mediocrity. I'm not. This is shit. This is garbage. It's literal garbage. I liked Sasha Banks when she was in WWE, but now you're seeing what's happening. When there's not someone behind certain people steering them in the right direction, they fall the fuck off. And we're going to talk about that later with another guy who's spent 25 years in WWE, got given his own freedom to do whatever he wanted, and now he's fucking hurt again.
Oh, you'll like the tweet, by the way, that I put when we get to
absolute garbage.
You'll like
but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
this here, you could go back and forth. They look exactly the fucking same to me, as far as how they presented this.
So
she's not even the world champion. She's the TBS champion. But Tony Khan wants to bring in more fucking titles because he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. You're going to put the one girl who won the championship and didn't turn heel, by the way, which was stupid because her entire character's heel, right? But we don't have heels and faces. That's why you have 600,000 people a week, you fucking mark. But this is what I'm talking about. You put the girl that has been criticized for 2 straight months, who debuted super early, knowing she couldn't wrestle yet, and had her talk every week and had people bury her week after week after week. He gave her a fucking opening talking segment. Click, click, click off the fucking channel.
So
watch the drop in the ratings. We're gonna see him in a couple days. Watch the fucking drop. I guarantee you that Q1 to Q2, huge.
We'll have it for you next week. We'll
fucking
have that
garbage.
for you. I will say though, I got to respond here real quick though. With Sasha Mercedes, she is one of your top for AEW. I would imagine the highest paid wrestler, or the highest paid female wrestler, I should say, on the roster. I think you have to.
But double A.
I think you have to, in some way, shape, or form. I don't have an issue with her being featured. Now, her talking, yeah,
that's the feature though. It's her talking, and she sucks at it.
But
Tony tells them to go out there and say whatever you want, right? That's what he does. He doesn't give them scripts. He doesn't give them bullet points. He doesn't have anyone produce anything. If you have any experience, he basically, and some people that don't have any experience, he just lets you fucking go out there. There's a reason why some of these guys are leaving. Arn Anderson leaving. Mark Henry leaving. They're not appreciated there. They're saying nice things because they don't want to get blackballed. And don't want to get the fucking troll storm and Tony Khan going on social media and starting talking.
And it's almost worse because you have a bigger roster, because it's I don't know if you ever had a job in the past, or been a part of something in the past where if something is too big, they don't let you go, but you're not working. So you almost rather be fired so you can have the freedom.
And Tony, I don't like confrontation. That you're a boss. Half of your job is meetings, confrontation, making decisions, putting people in their right fucking place when they're doing shit they're not supposed to.
Rolling down the ramp and then I'm sorry.
That's the reason why your biggest fucking draw you've ever had is working for the other company and drawing more money without even fucking being there. Because he's hurt. Dude, you're a literal trash panda. I swear to God. Like, it's the worst fucking thing I've seen.
Why does he not trust Swerve Strickland to talk?
He's not the champ. He's not the guy. Swerve is not the guy. He's a guy that put the title on 2 months too late. And because of that, and the heat's wearing off, it's a placeholder until Ospreay or someone else can get to that level in a couple months.
I'm dead serious when I say this. I have not seen a world champion get less talk time, a new champion get less talk time, I would say, since Rey Mysterio.
Look at Damian Priest.
I would say since Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
and honestly, I know we talked about it. It's a safe space. Since Chris Benoit in 2004. Yeah. You go back, 20 years ago, you go back, Chris Benoit was the champ, but
Evolution, all that stuff, it was
Triple
still
H,
thing, yeah.
The show was still built around Triple H.
Look at Damian Priest as an example on Raw. He got the title, he cashed the Money in the Bank. We knew it was probably going to happen. Okay, we kind of figured maybe he's going to be kind of just like a couple months, whatever. Maybe 2 months as champ. Like, he stepped the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
He was given proper opportunity.
But that's the key. He was given opportunity.
And he made the most out of it.
He was given opportunity.
Yes.
And I know people will say, well, wait a minute. Didn't Swerve have that opening promo on Collision after a playoff game? I'm like, well, that playoff game was in the first round on a Saturday.
It's a B show.
You need consistent promo opportunity.
Less than
if
half.
You're a world champion.
Less than half the people watch Collision that watch Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
So half your audience is already gone. Now you're going to give them the stage to talk because you were worried about double booking, whatever, that night with the stuff going on. But still, more than half the people watch that show than your fucking entire Collision show. Like,
there are also reports going into this to tonight's show or last night's show that Tony Khan switched up the scripts multiple times.
Oh, he's pulling events. Great.
Leading in, leading fantastic. To the question, which I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm ready to address at this moment. Maybe we will at some point.
Somebody buy
Is
this.
AEW in 2024 in worse shape than 2019 WWE? I'm not sure I'm ready to have that discussion just yet.
Yes, because WWE was never going anywhere. AEW, they won't go anywhere because Tony has money. I should rephrase that, because Tony's dad has money. But they will lose all their ratings. WWE never got to this low a point. Their stuff was bad, but they still had enough core of an audience where it still maintained above 1 million, that kind of stuff.
But wouldn't you say, though, that WWE back in 2019, and even leading up to that 17, 18, 19, most of the 2010s,
it wasn't
they were bad. They were bad enough to open the door for new competition.
That's why AEW exists. And again, they got the benefit of the doubt because they were a new company with a $1 billion owner that could buy these stars, that could buy these former WWE guys, but also work up their own and try to build some of the MJFs and Darby Allins and all these guys or whatever. And there's no more goodwill, and it shows. Congrats on being able to do one pay-per-view every other month or whatever it is and put on 5-star matches. I said this a million times. No one fucking cares. Their weekly numbers still drop. After the NBA Finals are over, will they tick up a little bit? Maybe. But then people are going to see what the fuck you've been doing, and they're going to click the fuck off.
In the middle of TV rights negotiations, which we'll talk about on the show. We have a ton to talk about on the show. We're going to be actually kind of weaving through WWE, AEW, WWE, AEW. So
like we're quilting a blanket.
So I had to actually buy some mattresses and stuff today. So follow along and enjoy the journey Kyle and Double A are about to bring to you.
You're like 3 months too late to that one. The Rock's like, bro, what the fuck?
Don't worry.
Copyright.
He'll be back in 2 months.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Speaking of which, this past weekend, loaded, well, a ton. And I texted you this before we started the show. I think now, I mentioned that open with AEW. They quickly tied the bow on Double or Nothing. They moved right on to Forbidden Door a month from now. King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring, pay-per-view, they did their thing. And Triple H made one announcement about the next pay-per-view, and it's kind of a slow, steady string kind of thing. So a couple of things here.
Oh, you mean storytelling and building towards something. You're right.
Overall thoughts before we get into the nitty-gritty from what you seen and covered and everything from this past weekend. It's the first thing that jumps out to you. I know that was a terrible question.
Well, because
the first thing that jumps out at you.
Because I didn't really watch them, so I couldn't tell you. But I mean, I know what happened with everything, and I mean, again, it just goes to show that you don't have to do 13, 14 matches in a night to get the point across, to move stories along.
Actually, that's a good talking point there. So you got a WWE pay-per-view.
Was there 5, 6 matches, maybe?
5 matches.
5 matches.
5 matches.
Went 2 hours,
We're
2.5 hours,
not even
3
counting
hours?
the pre-show.
Yeah.
5 matches versus AEW.
12 at least, right?
12. Now, you can make the case, and maybe Tony's thinking this. He's charging $50 a month for these pay-per-views. Now, the $50, it was one thing when AEW only had 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. And it took the company 7 or 8 weeks or even longer to build to these super cards. But now you have pay-per-views every month. And you're asking your consumers to shill out $50 a month. I guess what it seems obvious to me that having 5 matches, which Triple H has purposely scaled down. It used to be traditionally 7 or 8 matches on the WWE pay-per-views. He's trimmed it down to 5. It's easier to remember everything. Even the firefighters can remember, and the cops can remember.
I don't know if they hear that or not, but yeah.
I listened back when but you can hear it a little bit.
Oh, nice.
You got the volume up, you can hear it just a little bit. Just a little bit, which is cool. I love it.
Well, thank you guys and gals for everything you do.
But is it one of those situations where, and I screwed up the graphic. I should have stacked them instead of
Well, I mean,
whatever.
obviously you're a piece of shit, so I mean, it is what
I'm
it is.
sorry. I messed up. Sorry, Pete. That was my. That's not production's fault. This is my fault. I take the L on this. I take the L on Kyle dropping his phone right now. I take the L. No, it was actually my fault, this graphic.
For you, like you said, for me dropping my phone, it was your fault. I mean, yeah, just pile it on at this point.
I am. Do you prefer that it's only 5 matches on a WWE pay-per-view? Let's say if you was attending the show. Say it wasn't in Saudi Arabia. Say it was in, Columbus, Ohio.
I think if it was in Ohio, like SummerSlam, it would be more than 5 matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's by design. The pay-per-view, or PLE, whatever you want to call them now, WWE does these to set up their major ones. They do the ones in between to kind of, now at least, bridge their stories, add layers to stories, that kind of stuff, to get to a major pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, we know the next big one is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So it feels like these are kind of stepping stones. Obviously, Gunther winning, Nia winning, sets up their championship matches at SummerSlam. You can start building multiple months into those feuds, that kind of thing, right? And throw pitfalls in, like, Damian Priest has to face Drew McIntyre first, that kind of stuff. Are you even going to be champion, come that time? What's CM Punk doing? You have all these different layers to a story that's being written, but already been pre-written a little bit as far as what's ahead. Whereas with AEW, it's legit. What's going to be the coolest match? Let's make it, not do a story, and let's have like 12 of them. So that way this could be talked about as the best pay-per-view of the entire year, and Dave Meltzer will give us 17 stars, and we can do all this awesome, cool stuff, and we can have our 50-year-old legend who everyone loves in the locker room jump 2 stories off a fucking steel cage and break his leg. Idiots. We can do that kind of stuff. Dude, if you're drunk when you're in college and you jump off a second-floor balcony, people call you an asshole. What's your excuse now as a 50-year-old man in front of thousands of people? Sober.
But he missed out on 10 years.
You're about to miss out another fucking year too now. Congratulations.
It's like if you didn't get a chance to go to college, and then you go back as
the inmates are literally running the fucking asylum there, and the problem is some of the inmates are experienced. They've been locked.
Yeah, we need to address that.
They've been locked up for a while, and the problem is they haven't been getting a lot of freedom.
We need to address that.
And it's probably a good reason why, because these guys are idiots.
Well, and we'll get to that when we get to Adam Copeland, because, for as much blame as we can give to Tony Khan, and we give him a ton.
He can stop all this.
And he can't. But what I'm saying is, if we're saying, hey, you need to lean into your veterans, lean into the guys who have been there, who know what they're doing. So he turns to Edge. And Edge does that shit. Then who exactly can he turn to? So that's it's a culture thing. It's like in sports.
Do you feel the frustration brimming off of both of us?
It's like in sports. You have a bad team. Okay, cool. Let's bring in a veteran who comes from a Super Bowl winning team, and that veteran stinks up the joint because that veteran is away from the culture that built them. Oh boy, you're also speaking some gospel.
Yeah, and then you're going into a spot that doesn't have its own culture too. So it's not like you're going from one to another, and there's already been established, rules there and limits and things.
It's an expansion team. It's an expansion. It's basically, to put it in sports terms, it's an expansion team. It's
run by fucking babies. Imagine if your CEO was 6 months old. That's what it feels like.
That's pretty much what it is.
Fucking toddlers over there.
The one thing WWE has to be, Triple H has to be a bit careful here. I mentioned now, and this is an every year type of feeling. We start to get to June. Pro wrestling a little bit. Is warming up. Starts to be a little bit of a grind here. So June programming. July. Now, we'll pick up with Money in the Bank, and obviously SummerSlam. And it's cool that SummerSlam is early in August, not as late as it used to be.
I'd say even having the pay-per-view in Scotland.
Well, absolutely.
Because that crowd's going to be stupid.
Crowd's going to be great.
Any show in the UK is going to be nuts.
What's going to be, what they're going to have to make sure of, with Raw and SmackDown, they got to make sure that programming is fresh. They got to make sure that every episode, in some way, shape, or form, feels like you got to walk away feeling like something new. A couple of new things are happening. within the terms and the boundaries of the long-term storytelling that Triple H is trying to accomplish. And I understand the end goal. I understand the pay-per-views, which is cool. But Raw and SmackDown have to also has to have meaning, has to have loads of entertainment value. That does not mean, Kyle, that they need to do what Vince McMahon used to do in the past, which is have one random Raw in the middle of the month be like, oh, we're going to go all out. And then the next week, it stinks again.
Yeah. You're not going to get that, I don't think. Like you said, it's all, everything's building towards something.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people that are in the lower card, mid card, whatever, their stories they're working through build to something now. There's references, there's plot holes, there's added layers every single week. And that's what's kept WWE interesting. Even after WrestleMania, when everyone thought, okay, there's going to be this natural downtick. I mean, there was a little bit, yeah. But people are still like, hey, they're still doing a pretty good job.
It hasn't been the nosedive post WrestleMania as it has been.
It's the normal. We expect this to go down a little bit because you built up so much, and it's WrestleMania, so it's the biggest show of the year. You kind of expect after that to kind of have a little bit of there's going to be some buffer time here where we kind of figure ourselves out a little bit again, kind of get things established, and start to slowly push the mound or push the rock back up the hill to get it going to where we can let that shit go down.
Right.
Next, March, April, whatever it is. So, I mean, they've done a good job with that. Like the Uncle Howdy stuff's good too. Having that kind of be looking like it's going to crescendo in the middle of June is good.
Yeah, it looks like we got something brewing for that.
So a nice big story in the middle of the month. You mentioned kind of the dog days of wrestling right now in between Money in the Bank and all that stuff. I mean, it's good to have that.
Yeah.
I think the Drew story is obviously big. The Dom, Liv, Judgment Day stuff, they've been able to almost kind of, because people were concerned too about the bloodline and how that was all going to work. And the Bloodline's still a great story at SmackDown, still cinema, right? I mean, that's the whole thing about what's going on, who knows what, all that shit. But they've been able to kind of take that formula and use it in multiple other areas to where we keep getting a little bit more every week. And it keeps us going like, man, what the fuck's what are they going to do? Is this really going to happen? Like, when you're asking all these questions and you're excited to see what happens, not asking questions about why the fuck are they doing this. You're asking questions about, but are they going to do this now with that? Or are they going to do this with that?
And you best not miss either.
Yeah.
You best not miss.
Well,
you do miss a episode. Wait a minute, there's a detail. Like, you can still follow along, but there's a detail that...
If you miss AEW, you don't really miss much. If you miss WWE, you miss a lot, but then they always like to recap, too, which is nice. It's not after an opening promo or segment. They just do it to start the show.
Yeah.
It also just helps...
I can't tell you how helpful just that classic walk-in at the very beginning of the show, just of different people. I cannot tell you how huge that is at the start of every show.
Just where are we at? Like,
it's the thesis statement.
It's
the thesis statement.
Also
why are we watching tonight?
It's episodic television. We talked about this before, like Grey's Anatomy. You get previously on, right? Like you want to know. Okay, maybe I missed last week because I had work or my kids were acting up and I couldn't watch.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Because I'm here. So what's going on? Oh, this happened. Oh, they're gonna do this tonight. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like if you just come out with a fucking promo with one person who can't talk to begin with, you're not doing yourself any favors. That's why, again, I said at the beginning, the stuff from last night for Dynamite didn't do shit for me. I don't care if she just won a championship. One, it's not even the main women's championship. So she gets the B title, even though she's the top paid female superstar in the company. Shouldn't she have gone right to Toni Storm?
Should have went right to Toni.
What the fuck is she doing wasting them for the TV title for? She needs to be the top person, right? She's getting paid that way. Fucking stupid. That's my whole point.
And you would have had an established heel babyface.
Because Tony's a babyface now.
Or maybe, I don't know if Sasha's a heel or a face.
They don't know either. Don't ask
don't.
Tony. He doesn't know what the difference is.
We know about this, though. Oh, my God.
That looks like he's in physical pain, which
oh, my God.
We need to slap him.
Man, this is...
Pete, if you're wondering who that was, that's the girl who Double A took a picture of her ass a couple weeks ago and put it
I did not. No, I didn't take the picture. I did not. No.
You Googled that
That's
shit.
fake news. I didn't take the picture.
Fake
I just
news.
put it on.
You were in the arena and you...
I didn't go underneath.
Because she's
Dude,
kissing.
you got people in the front row. Can I just say this? You got people in the front row of these random shows.
Taking videos, screenshots. Hey, some of the girls eat it up. Some of the girls like, dude, what the fuck? Like, but like,
Man.
does she look like she's kissing his like left cheek right there?
It does.
That looks like Dominik Mysterio is married, and Liv Morgan is single. That's what that looks like. Because she is all the way in, and he is like, fuck.
Well, remember, you can't see it from this side. You can't see it, but his arm is broken. His left arm.
Well, he wasn't gonna rap anyway. He wasn't bringing that shit in.
No,
Not yet.
No.
We haven't got there yet.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Cinema. I'm not going to yell this week. Cinema.
Pete's depressed. He fixed your mic and everything.
Cinema.
Expected you to yell.
We still got more show to go.
That's true. It's a lot.
Cinema.
Fantastic.
Think about how it all set up. Saturday, you had first off, all the shows leading into the pay-per-view. And then Saturday.
Sorry, I can't. Just kissing his
wow,
mustache.
look at that!
She's kissing his mustache. That's hilarious.
Oh, man!
So I guess she likes guys with mustaches.
Hold up.
Guess who's shaving
Pete,
after this?
I'm sorry, Pete. Go back to my single shot. Wow.
I'm gonna kiss your eyeball and you're gonna like it.
That looks like a first kiss. That's the first kiss.
Remember in high school when we met and I kissed your mustache?
Man, that's the first kiss. That's amazing.
And it was in front of 12,
Man.
15,000 people, whatever it was.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Pete.
Oh, Jesus.
So cinema, right? So matches going on, whatever. And I see people complaining about the match and complaining about the steel cage match on Monday. I'm sorry, Liv versus Becky, the wrestling match, I thought was pretty good, but the wrestling obviously was not the big deal.
Yeah.
It was the story. It was everything leading into it. So Dominik just randomly, according to Becky, showing up. Becky, she's the ultimate babyface. Why are you here? I don't want you here. I'm going to win this championship. I'm going to retain my title. No reason for you to be here. No reason.
She's winning the match and he's trying to help
She's
her.
actually winning the match. That was the other thing. She's actually winning the match, and Dom shows up. Oh, and by the way, potential feud of the year. Michael Cole versus Dominik Mysterio. Oh, man. 20 years in the making.
I thought you were going to say Corey Graves and Logan Paul, but that was just...
Man, I think we have two now. But Michael Cole
gets a WrestleMania match.
Man.
Dominik
Get
Mysterio.
that Cole mine back out there.
Oh, my God.
Get it back out
Put
there.
that singlet away.
Just kidding. Don't ever bring that back.
No, and keep
Jerry Lawler should have beat you. Anywho.
Keep your shoes in your feet in your shoes,
Man,
too. And
if we were doing this show back in those days, oh, boy.
It was like Cena and then everything else. That's what it was.
The best part of WrestleMania 27, one of the best parts was Snooki. Because she actually could wrestle.
I like the Miz and Cena match. People don't like it, but
I didn't mind the match. The most of the card though stunk.
Yeah.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
What can you do?
Nothing now. It's
they robbed
14 years ago. Yeah.
Alex Riley. He had a bright future at FCW. Anywho,
Best theme song I've ever heard. By the way, Alex Riley's theme song was fantastic. Give it to Braun Breaker. Anyway, proceed.
By the way, you were 100% right about Braun Breaker.
His NXT theme song is fucking awesome. I don't know why they changed that. Maybe some copyright issues. I don't know.
Someone copy over like Mark Henry's music. That I'm not saying do that.
3-6 Mafia walking out.
Yeah, man.
But
that was hard.
What is Booker T? What? What?
Speaking of Booker T, I'm sorry we're kind of jumping here. Booker T need to calm himself down.
He's hilarious.
He need to calm himself down. I know.
When fucking Jordan Grace came out of NXT and she's like, I'm the TNH. He's like, shucka, quack, quack. I fucking died. I'm like,
dude,
what?
Man. Hey, Booker
it's
T.
It's an ad-lib now?
Hey, Booker T. You got a happy home. You need to chill. You need to chill.
Shucka, quack, quack.
You gonna be quack. Anywho.
Charmel's gonna quack your ass out of that fucking nice house, buddy. Dude, chill.
Man. So, Liv wins the championship at the pay-per-view. We don't know why Dominik threw the chair out there. Wasn't meant to help Liv, supposedly.
Well,
and then Monday, the steel cage.
He just so happened to open the door. Braun Strowman happens to come out, smack his little ass into the door. Hits Becky. Liv ends up just leaving.
Yeah.
And now apparently is fine with just winning with help again.
And so this kiss did not air on the USA Network.
They cut it out because it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
We don't do that overrun bullshit, apparently, according
They
to
do not.
USA.
They do not.
So it was a WWE exclusive on YouTube.
If you're on social media, you follow pro wrestling, they posted this so much. You could not miss this.
Reason why?
You saw this. Actually, the numbers prove it. I believe in one day, I think like 60 million views.
Overall, the socials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You best not miss. And Liv Morgan, as far as storytelling, delivering. Oh, and there was one little key element. Back to what you was talking about a little bit ago about, if you miss one little thing, start thinking about it. You remember a few weeks ago, one of those Judgment Day segments in backstage, Damian Priest asked Dominik, hey, is everything good with you and Rhea? We never got an answer because Finn Balor stepped in with his story. Stepped in the shot with McDonough and Carlito with that story. We never got an answer. We don't know the status of Dom and Rhea. And that was before this happened. We don't know.
She said from the beginning, I'm going to take everything from you. And Judgment Day, Rhea has said it meant everything to her. Having that group, having that ride or die, those people. I think in the end of it all, she'll still have Damian because they'll both be babyfaces. But this is a slow burn of pulling Dom, JD, and Finn away, making their own Judgment Day.
And why was Finn walking away from that truck last week? The same truck that Liv got out of the car from?
I want to give a lot of credit to... I feel like we're patting everyone on the fucking back now from WWE, but nevertheless, it's been great. The booking of Liv Morgan throughout all this, people were concerned. Like the promos, they were kind of like, she's not really cutting good.
Oh, I was concerned last month that
yeah.
she was not, that in that Battle Royal, she did not win the battle. Like, I thought she should have won the championship right then and there. Oh, why are we handing this back to Becky?
Now we know why. And Becky, being the ultimate pro she is with her feature, still maybe in doubt. Kind of like, doing what she does best and giving back and giving Liv a chance really to get over.
So.
And be the next kind of like star, at least in the making, whether it's Becky's gone for a few months, whether she leaves completely, whatever it is. She can give that rub to Liv now and let her be the main attraction on Raw. And she's got a fucking ton of people she can wrestle. Starting with Lyra, probably. But I mean, makes a lot most sense, right? But I mean, this is awesome. Like no pun intended. You're not going to hear a chant in the background. But I mean, this is what storytelling does. It peels back different layers. It leads to really hot, attractive girls kissing semi-attractive dudes, if you're into that kind of thing, on the mustache, on national TV, kind of. I mean,
Pete, can you go to my single shot one more time? Let's watch this kiss.
It's like all the way out there. It's like all the way out there.
Man.
And dude, why are you... All right.
All right, thank you, Pete. That was...
It's a tough thing to do, too, because, again, we're acting, right? But, like, when you're married and Dom's freshly married...
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, babe, so we're doing this thing. And Rhea was at the wedding, all that stuff. But, like, we are going to be doing this swerve, and Liv's going to have to kiss me, and there may be more kissing in the future. And, like, having that conversation's got to be so uncomfortable with someone who just got married.
Yeah.
Unless she just bought it all the way and she knew right from the beginning, like, hey, there's going to be some shit like this that happens. But we've seen what happens in the world of wrestling, and there's a reason why a lot of wrestlers date wrestlers because of this kind of shit.
Look,
I mean, I'm
going to say this.
He's a Mysterio. So
it is Thursday, May 30th, 2024. There is not a pro wrestler I would rather be right now than Dominik Mysterio.
And that's not even just because of that. I mean, he's legit getting the Eddie Guerrero China push right now.
This
it's insane.
Is amazing.
Like, we talked about it. By next year, he may be world champion.
This is That's a statement. That's a statement.
They're building their young stars. It's going to be the Doms. It's going to be the Braun Breakers. It's going to be the Carmelo Hayes. It's going to be the Trick Williams.
Statement.
I'm just saying he's being built, put in a prominent position, and he's delivered. It's one thing to be there, kind of like JD, and you're there because Finn's you're trained you and all that stuff, and you're good in the ring, and he's not bad by any means. But Dom is excelling in these roles.
I have so many thoughts. We got to move here in a bit, but I keep going back.
You're married. You can't have any thoughts.
I keep thinking, though. That was funny. I keep
You're
thinking,
welcome.
though.
Beer all week.
Man,
Try the veal.
Dominik Mysterio is on track to have a better career than his father. He's on track. Now,
He's got to
his
win some
father,
shit first.
His father, legend in the ring. Legendary character, legendary professional wrestler. His father is cruiserweight wrestling.
His father's Lucha Libre. It's the
yeah.
anyone that comes up who was the person they watched. It was from Mexico, from Latin America, whatever. It's Ray. So careful.
So careful. You say he was going to be world champion.
Being
in
world
a year.
champion and being better than Rey Mysterio,
Could
very
be.
different.
He
Very
could.
different.
He could. He's
also
already
very early.
Dom is already better on the microphone, superior on the microphone over Rey Mysterio. Superior. That you can't debate.
I can because he doesn't talk. Because he can't because he gets booed out of the fucking stage every single time. So no, I don't know if he's that good on the mic yet, and you don't know either.
Yes, we do.
You don't.
You know what?
You have no idea.
In the two, if he, well, guess what? He's gonna have to talk next week. He's gonna have to talk next week, and the fans gonna need to shut up and listen to what he has to say.
They're making him talk backstage now because it's a little bit easier because he can't talk out there.
He's gonna have.
He
to.
almost needs some of the heat to die down a little bit so he can actually show his promo skills. That's what we talked about a long time ago when we first
it
started
ain't
the
dying
show.
down right now.
No,
It's not dying down right now.
But fuck.
You kiss her, it will not die down. He has to answer the Judgment Day. He has to answer the He could come out and say, "Wait a minute, how can I push off if I have a broken arm?" He does have a broken arm.
I don't know. With your good arm, you can push the 110-pound girl off of you. You grown man.
Hey, she was shocked. He thought the show was over. He thought the show was over. Man, the way she looked at him too. Oh my God, the way she looked at him.
Take it easy, Tiger.
You know, I had a. I wish I was able to find. I had a picture of Liv Morgan, and a couple other when they were in NXT. They came to Cleveland in 2016. Nakamura, he was on the show too, and you know it's cool. Personally, it's freaking cool to see that Liv Morgan is gonna rise to the level of superstardom that she is right now.
Well, she's already there with not being a two-time champion and all that stuff. She's been runner-up for like the past like 5 Royal Rumbles.
And that was the story this entire weekend. And they listed she was in second place in the Royal Rumble, second place in Elimination Chamber, second place with the Battle Royal, and she lost every time to Becky. That was the entire story. And the fact that Becky, let's talk about her right now. The fact that Becky, it's very possible to say that she came back for a month to put her over. If that's true, and I believe for that to be true, Triple H needed a favor. Hey, Rhea went down. Becky, can you come back for a few weeks? Can you come back? You know, we have a big story, but we need you back first. She ought to be commended for doing it, because she did not have to do this at all. She did not have to agree to come back. She could easily still, have been at home this whole time.
I have a weird, so it's not going to happen, but I have a weird suspicion that retirement is really in the front of her mind.
I think it's very possible.
I mean, she's done literally everything.
That's when we had the 4 stars up here. The Becky seemed a little odd to me, because I keep thinking in WWE, what else is there for her to do? I don't think she's going to main event another WrestleMania.
She's not going to catch Charlotte for titles.
She's not going to catch Charlotte.
Because that's Charlotte's thing, right? She's going to try and break the title thing.
She's not going to catch Charlotte. She could mix it up with other women. And she does come back. I look forward to that. I think she does too.
The problem with all this too is that Seth already resigned. So are they going to be okay with splitting up and her going to like AEW or something like that? I'll tell you right now, it's not going to move anything. You can sign every single free agent in the world, but if your booking is trash, you're not going to get anywhere. So I hope to God that she doesn't go there just because she doesn't need to. You don't need to stoop that low to get to that point. Like,
would you blame her though
yes.
if AEW offers more money and Tony has proven he'll open the book, he'll open the checkbook. At least for now, we don't know what the TV money's gonna go, but he'll open the book. Rebecca is somebody who you could promote. Somebody you could put out there, goodwill. Somebody you could, kind of mix things up. But again, I do share your concerns with Rebecca. I don't know if she is able or capable. She's not going to move the needle as far as television.
No.
Will she move the needle as far as merch? It's possible.
Depends on what she can and can't use as well, because she doesn't own the trademarks to any of her shit.
She can't use Becky Lynch.
Can't use the man.
Well, I thought she took that back. Or no, she took Big Time Bex.
Big Time Bex didn't work through either. They tried to trademark it and they couldn't.
Yeah.
So she has nothing. And again, this is the part that makes me a little nervous now too. Triple H has proven, like, hey, we'll let one of the four horsemen walk away and we'll be just fine. And they were, and they actually excelled because of all the talent they have in the women's division.
Yeah.
Is he willing to let Becky walk too after the price gets to a certain point? He's like, listen, I'll give you $3 million a year, but if they offer you $5 million, I can't do that. We've got a lot of talent here. You know that. You've been working with us for as long as we have. And I appreciate the hell out of what you did for us this past month and a half, whatever it was, and what you've done your entire career here for us too. But if the end goal is to make as much money as you can right now, I can't tell you not to take that contract. I mean, you see what they're doing to him, but at the same point, it's a lot of money. You're still working. This whole working writer schedule is bullshit too.
Is Sasha? Yes, I'm still calling her Sasha Banks. Sasha's lack of ability on the microphone. She had a great match at the pay-per-view, but her lack of ability on the mic is kind of hurting Becky Lynch a little bit in this contract. If AEW's on, because Triple H can exactly say that. It's like, hey, one of our stars went over across the street.
You don't even have to, like, if you're Triple H, you don't even have to try and undersell AEW. You can just look at the show. Watch it. Look
at how she's being presented.
Yeah, it took them this long to finally get multiple women on the show. Like, we're doing all this for you. Like, Bayley's talking about having another all-women's pay-per-view. We can do that because we trust all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You all kill it. I mean, they'll have caps because they're a publicly traded company. And there's only so much they can offer each person. Tony can do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to overpay for someone that's put expectations on her that she can't deliver on because she just can't, because of what she's being handcuffed with, I wouldn't do it. I just would not do it if I were her. I'd rather take the time off. The time off you were planning on taking, and then some. Like, just take your time. You don't have to sign a contract. Let people fucking talk about you. Can't miss you if you never go away. Right?
Be ready to go for the Mania run.
Take the time. Be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. Do something like that. I mean, that's the best for her, and she needs the break too because she's been working her ass off for a long time. It wasn't like when she was off before she wasn't doing anything. She was being a fucking mom and was pregnant.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was a vacation. It was like I'm pregnant, and then I gave birth, and then I had to raise my daughter, and now I came back, and now I feel like I've been working constantly for the past
and she was supposed
12
to
years.
Be off.
And then Rhea gets hurt, and it's an audible, and you need a big name to win the title, so you can give Liv the proper win instead of a battle royal. You can actually give her a win over a top star to give her even more of that push to where she is now, which is ascending to a top star. So, again, it's just one of those things where she's earned it. She deserves to be able to take time and work through whatever she needs to work through.
Now, to be fair as well, on the WWE side, does she deserve to be one of the highest paid superstars, wrestlers in WWE based on the track record? I think that answer is yes. It's easy to say because it's not our money. That's very easy to say. Now, what that number is not higher than Roman Reigns.
No.
That number is not higher than The Rock, whatever you sign him for. What
The Rock's
that may
ready.
Be.
The Rock may not even be.
And The Rock, and I'm just talking about a talent contract. We're not even, he has his.
Don't even talk about the men. Like, let's separate and talk about the women. What other women in WWE should get paid more than Becky Lynch right now?
I would say
Charlotte's borderline for me just because of who she is and what she's done. But at the same point, she's not wrestling for another 5 months.
I can't trust Charlotte to stay in the ring.
Bayley is up there, but I think Becky is more valuable than Bayley. At least
Probably,
when it comes to
I would say Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
I would say
Bianca, and then
because Bianca delivers in the ring. She draws merch.
Yeah,
draws merch, moves the needle a little bit with demos, and she's all over Bianca Belair is probably your most marketable female superstar on the roster.
It also just so happens that she's awesome in the ring too, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Like, I think Becky should be paid probably on par with what Bianca's making, if not maybe a little more.
Well, and here's the slippery slope. I don't know how much Bianca's getting paid.
But she just recently re-signed too, so it's...
So I would imagine Becky was already paid higher than what Bianca, and Bianca's probably matching to or getting close to where Becky is. So in terms of, Becky needs more money, she should...
Well, she'll ask for a raise.
By seniority,
yeah, well,
will be higher than Bianca.
And she also performed her job and did very well. She made the company a lot of money and was a draw. So, I mean, she has every right to ask for a raise.
Yeah, she
Whatever
does.
that raise is, who knows? I mean, I'm sure Tony will be aggressive too. But at the same point, does she even take the call? A lot of these people that re-signed with WWE recently basically said, I never thought about going anywhere else. There's a reason why.
And again, just to be clear, if you're a Becky Lynch fan, it's by all indications... it's from what we're hearing, WWE does not believe that she's considering AEW at this moment. But it's our duty, Tony's going to offer her a contract.
The big. Well, yeah, he will. If he hasn't already.
And Tony has to. And
he has
Tony
to do
has to.
But at the same point, like I said, when your husband resigns with the company, I mean, and it's not like a thing where it's like, hey, we've only been in for a couple years. You both have been there for over a decade. And his loyalty to Triple H and that. And I think she has that too. Her best booking has been, NXT going through the main roster and then having Triple H kind of be a hand in on Vince even too with her.
Actually, let me retract my statement, Kyle. Tony doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to do shit.
Doesn't have to.
He's got plenty of people on the roster. He should just worry about actually writing a good show instead of trying to sign all these people and not know what to do with them.
That's the thing. Like, Tony doesn't have to. At some point, you got to put guardrails on where you are as a roster.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit. He'll spend all the money he wants.
So...
Have fun making none of it back.
To be continued, as tweeted by Becky Lynch. Okay. As we said before, we're going to be jumping between...
This.
All right.
So mad. I'm going to throw like tan potential like my 6-year-old. God damn it. I love Edge. Like, some of my core memories of like watching WWE when I first started were stuff that he did. Like the whole Lita Matt Hardy stuff at the beginning, like in 2005, through the Cena rivalry, through all that stuff. Like, this dude was one of the people I fucking popped when he came back in the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. Like, I was like, holy shit. So excited. I liked his matches with Randy Orton the second time around through the pandemic. Some people didn't. I'm like, hey, he's working his ass off. He's trying. But I'm losing faith, if not have lost faith completely, in what the fuck this dude was thinking. 20 feet off the ground, going through a table, not even really going through the table or going onto the dude, but like landing on your feet.
Yeah. On the side.
At 50. At 50.
As Malachi Black was wrapped in barbed wire? So, by the way...
so you didn't want to scratch up your stomach, but you were okay with landing on your fucking feet, 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, you're old. It's not an insult. It's just a fact. You said it. You're getting old.
Well,
You can't do this shit
prob-
anymore. You couldn't do it back when you were
I wouldn't
two.
even tell a 20-year-old to do this.
No, but Darby will do it because he's fucking insane
but
too.
that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't even.
It wasn't needed.
There's a bigger. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, we will criticize Tony Khan all day, every day.
It's his fucking fault. Like I get these are grown adults, but at the end of the day, the last guy you see before you go through that curtain is the guy who's running the fucking show.
It's Tony.
He needs to know what the fuck's going on. And he needs to tell people, listen, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like it's gonna be cool. Don't get me wrong, but like 20 feet to the like.
I gotta
do this instead. Or...
I need to know. AEW doesn't release this information freely like WWE does. I need to know who produced this match.
Edge.
Like
Edge produced the match.
Do they not have a producer?
They lean on the veterans. When there are veterans, if it's the Young Bucks, they're producing the match. He doesn't have producers. They've talked about this multiple times. The people that have left the company, the veterans that have been back there.
Mm-hmm.
I was there and I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
No one came for me. No one came for advice.
Yeah.
No one asked me to do certain things with them. I was just kind of there. I felt like I had a bunch of jobs and I felt like I had nothing to do.
You had two former WWE guys in this match. They both, at some point, say, yeah, let's do this. And I'm just wondering, even in the planning stages, when you're putting a match together, build, whoo, high, and then build, high. You know, build, finish.
Not build, literally fucking high, dude. Like, come on.
You know, it's just, and this is the overall fundamental problem. You talked, and we've talked about, you know, long-term storytelling within shows in WWE. The pay-per-view audience for AEW is completely different from the Dynamite audience. It's different from the Rampage audience. It's different from the Collision audience. So in reality, we should say, oh, Adam Copeland, he's out for 6 months. Oh, he's only going to miss 6 pay-per-views. It's just, I'm trying to find any reason for this to make sense between two former WWE talents who know better.
Shame on Edge for doing this spot. Shame on Malachi Black for allowing it to happen. Like,
and then you got Edge right here.
Why is he even in these kinds of matches? He's a good wrestler. Just have him be in a regular match.
Then you got. And here's the other thing. And maybe this is a little out of my time or whatever. Adam is desperate to bring back a version of his character.
The Brood thing, yeah.
That, to me, first of all, that phase of his character only lasted for like 6 months.
People look back on it now.
It doesn't fit at all.
They think it looks cool now.
It doesn't fit at all.
But there's a reason back then. There's a reason back then why it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking stupid.
It doesn't.
Let's just be honest. The Brood was garbage.
It doesn't fit.
Sorry.
At all. He tried it with Judgment Day, with the original formation of Judgment Day. He tried it then. It failed. Judgment Day stunk until Edge was out of it.
I feel like he could have been good with that because he was going in a different direction. It was after when he was feuding with like Finn, where he brought back some Brood shit. And that was like, dude.
But that was my point. Like, it doesn't. I understand. All right, you want to try some different things, and it's sometimes I get it. It is hard for a guy at the top to say, no, you're gonna be babyface forever and a day.
And the best part about this was, he won. So the guy that broke his fucking leg, they didn't call an audible in the match and give the title to Malachi, who actually is healthy and can wrestle.
Yeah.
They let the guy who was now out for 6 months with a broken leg win the match.
So nobody got over.
Nobody got over.
Nobody got over.
You buried a guy that was getting some momentum and trying to get a singles push. to a guy that decided he wanted to jump off a fucking top of a fucking steel cage and break his leg, who now probably has to vacate the title, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I believe that angle was done last night with the Young Bucks.
Garbage.
Nobody wins. Nobody wins.
And he's
every story in professional wrestling, every story in entertainment, and Young and the Restless. The whole point of every storyline in your daytime stories and your nighttime shows, whatever show you watch in any form, there are winners and losers. And at the end of the episode, does the winner look better than the loser? Does somebody put over, as we call it, at the end of all this? And the answer is no. The answer in this case is absolutely not.
The answer in this case is both people lost.
There are no winners.
No.
There are no winners. This feud is an L, and it didn't have to be.
I've got that photo saved in my thing for edits later. The little L thing that flies on the screen when they do something stupid.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You know what? We should have known better. He's friends with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's a walking trash can right now. So, I mean, this makes all the sense in the world. They've all got the same mindset. The super duper extreme. We got to do all this crazy shit to pop this crowd because they've seen everything already. Just have a good wrestling match.
It's not good enough.
With like a stipulation, not like 45 fucking things going on.
It's not good enough because later on the pay-per-view, somebody got to be put on fire. So it's not good enough.
Hit by a fucking truck inside of something, set on fire, all this garbage bullshit.
We gotta come out with a flamethrower.
It is a goddamn indie show on steroids with a budget.
And that's the problem. It's like none of these. We're not going to talk about this in a week.
No,
we're not. Hell, we're not even talking about now. Like
we're gonna forget Edge was around. We're gonna forget he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come back and he'll have like that 1 week where he'll get a decent pop if they don't announce it ahead of time.
Yeah,
and then that's it. And he can't even come back to fight Malachi Black because he beat him. He beat him. You can't even say, "Oh, he broke my leg." Payback's a bitch.
Yeah,
he won the match. So now you look really fucking stupid. Good job, Tony.
And will the House of Black even be together? Will people even care at that?
Will Malachi even be under contract with AEW in 6 months? I don't fucking know.
And that was the other
his
thing.
Wife's
Like,
his wife's in the LWO and WWE right now.
And that was the other thing. Like, Malachi Black's been off of television for a long time because he was one of the 200 guys, and Tony wouldn't let him go, so he was inactive until all of a sudden he needed a feud.
I loved him in WWE. His Aleister Black gimmick, they were kind of presenting him as like the smaller version of the Undertaker.
He had potential here.
He did. Well, everyone did. Everyone that
started
with this company.
Smoke.
When you sign the contract, you have potential. The problem is you're putting your future in the hands of someone who doesn't know what he's doing.
And you're in charge of booking 5 shows a week, basically. We're back in 2019. Oh, why was the storytelling significantly better in 2019, 2021? You only had to focus on one TV show. You only had this many guys on your roster, and you booked weeks at a time.
And let's be fair too with this, they've never booked the women's division well.
And never booked the women well. So we used to joke in the worst way, like Excalibur used to read off like 30,000 matches for next week's Dynamite.
He's still wearing that mask?
Still wearing the mask.
God, what a fucking idiot. All right.
He doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, look, real wrestlers. Look at that. Holy shit.
All right. Quickly here. Let's talk the right winner here. I still don't understand. So one or two things happened at the end of his Gunther's match with Orton. Obviously, the shoulder was up. Did the ref F up? Like, did the referee not do his job?
No,
like in real life, or
you can't beat Randy. I think that's the one thing too. Like that they've been protecting him pretty heavily since he came back from his injury.
It wasn't. If that was the case, wasn't needed.
People were saying he's going to jump to SmackDown. I don't see that. I think he's going to stay on Raw. He'll face whoever's the champion at that point. Probably going to be Priest, because I think that Punk McIntyre.
We'll see.
Punk McIntyre doesn't need the title. That's the
true,
thing.
But we'll see.
So
I said I thought it was a slam dunk about McIntyre's going to win in his hometown. I said it was a slam dunk, and I'm like, ooh.
You almost
I
hit the
don't
back
know.
of the rim and you flew out of that one.
I don't know. We're not gonna have time on this show.
You said it was a slam dunk, but you're like 5'2", so take that for what it is.
Slam dunk, baby.
It's the finger roll from underneath the net.
If Nate Robinson can do it.
You work on those calves and get back to me, okay?
If Nate Robinson can do it. All right, look. First of all, King of the Ring, add on to the accolades like this. The story of the tournament, the story of the King of the Ring tournament was how he won in different ways throughout. So in the Randy Orton match, the match itself was great. Again, I didn't like the finish, but the match was great itself.
Kudos to Randy for being able to take an ass kicking like a champ.
But think about how
he got whooped.
So how it happened, right? So, Gunther decided, Randy already has a bad back. Okay, cool, I'll attack it. But I'm going to also attack the knees, so you can't stand up either. So,
he had the knee injury from SmackDown. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right. So, Randy, you want to do an RKO? All right, cool, but you ain't going to capitalize. Every time you fall down for the RKO, you're going to be spinning to the other side of the ring because you can't capitalize. You don't have your body's broken down.
Wait, you're saying he's telling the story while he's wrestling too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing that, and then and I love this during the match at the pay-per-view, and the commentators said it. Cole and Corey Graves, they said it was spot on. They were like, Gunther went for the pin, but intentionally was not trying to win the match at a particular moment of the match. Sometimes you can actually use a pinfall as a weapon.
Makes you exert energy. Makes you
stretch it out your back. You got an injured back? All he's doing is just pulling his leg.
I hooked the bad knee. You gotta
hook the bad knee,
or hook the good knee. So you have to use the bad knee to kick out. That kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's crazy how that fucking works.
Some call it cinema.
Right choice though. I mean, he's on fire as far as his role and what he means to this company. And
would you have had an issue if Randy Orton would have won this?
No, but I think it made more sense to have Gunther win.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Cody and Randy, maybe even at SummerSlam, but like he didn't need this. I think because Randy's built, Randy's made, he's done. He's as over as he's ever gonna be, and he'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
He needs every single thing he can give him to keep that momentum going because he lost to Sammy, first time in 2 years or whatever it was. He's been building up now towards it. There were some thoughts about, hey, is he gonna lose the J, that kind of stuff too. He's been able to kind of push through all of that and get this, and
this tournament has proven
if it's Priest, one thing. If it's Priest at SummerSlam, which it very well could be, that's the end of Priest's reign. He's losing that championship at that point. That's also obviously tying into Judgment Day shit too and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't see any reason why he won't hold the title until WrestleMania, and then we know who he's facing at WrestleMania.
Dominik Mysterio?
No. A guy who is apparently back with the company.
Oh.
Because that guy doesn't like to wrestle for anything that's not a world championship. So, there's your match. And it's in Vegas. The UFC tie-in is unbelievable.
Oh.
Long-term booking. Also, that match would be fucking insane, too.
It would be.
For all the bullshit we've said about the guy we're talking about still. Have you been able to put 2 and 2 together yet at home? As far as who we're talking about. He may currently be on a farm somewhere, peeing on some kid.
By the way, my choice would be Braun Breaker in that situation, but you have your
so sorry.
You have your farm boy.
I'm so sorry.
You have your pedophile farm boy.
I'm so sorry. we were doing so well.
You have your pedophile farm boy.
We were doing so well. I haven't said anything controversial in a fat minute. And then it just came into the brain right there.
You take Dana White and
you put down the cue card. We're done with that.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? You know what he should do though instead? Farm boy. He should be in Power Slap #1. Number 2.
Jesus.
Number 2.
Gunther should be in Power Slap.
When I hear I'll go back to the slide here for a second. When I hear when I think of Brock Lesnar, I think of Farm Boy. I think of one thing. I think about the greatest promo Roman Reigns has ever cut in his career.
Suckering Succotash.
No, dear
Come
God,
fuck
no.
me.
The dog crap with Baron Corbin. No,
all time low.
thank goodness Baron Corbin has kind of recovered from that.
Doing well.
Doing well. They're having a contract signing, and Roman Reigns is like, you don't even realize what's going on here, Farm Boy. You realize what's going on here? That championship is mine. You don't even realize it because you don't even realize it. Because I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of the table. And he does the whole thing. You know, he turns to the cameras like, this camera right here, that's my cameraman. Because I run this. These two right here, calling Pat McAfee, these are my commentators. They work for me. Points at WrestleMania. That sign right there, I am WrestleMania. Reminds me of the greatest. I hated the feud and the whole unification thing, but it was the greatest promo. And you can see Brock Lesnar, who's sitting there like, this kid got it. This kid got it.
He finally got it.
He finally got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Farm Boy won't be available when Vince McMahon takes over for. Never mind. Let's move on.
Okay. Not for that guy.
No, not for that guy. Be for somebody else. All right. I'm so happy. We have thrown flowers at Nia Jax, even if she doesn't want it, since we started this show. And this picture is actually pretty poetic because, you know, Nia Jax and Liv Morgan, two women who were left off of WrestleMania, but two women who, for different reasons, for controversial reasons, either left the company or got in major trouble in the case of Liv Morgan, given another opportunity and has taken full advantage of that said opportunity. And your queen of the ring, Nia Jax, who will be challenging the SmackDown Women's Champion, who we assume will be Bayley, at SummerSlam. But you wanted fake TikToker to win this instead. It's not.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I think the direction they went with the whole Liv Morgan thing and Becky losing and all that stuff opens Lyra to get her championship match anyway. She also won on Monday.
She did.
So that's great.
She did.
She immediately picked up where she left off, kept the momentum going, which is good.
And she wasn't. I'll say this: she wasn't buried.
She was apparently it was a really good match.
She wasn't buried in this match.
Yeah, apparently she got some good stuff in.
Nia, oh God, the finisher
crushed the shit out of her.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
When it looks like it hurts, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's when you know you made it.
Man. Oh man. Watching that live.
Listen. We talked about her a long time ago, and like how I was upset. Like she needs to fucking go. It's not because of her weight or because of whatever. I don't give a shit about that. It's because she was unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
She was hurting everybody she was working with.
Yeah.
She leaps and bounds, and then 10 more steps better.
Yeah.
Than she ever was. She deserves it. Especially if the other stuff that went down, it made a lot of sense to be able to give it to her. And like I said, have Lyra still have her ability to get up and do what she needs to do. She already has a built-in feud with Liv. That's great. This is good for Nia.
Yeah.
She also has some things she can go to because she's on SmackDown, and she has Bianca and Jade and some of the girls that can actually give her some real competition over there. And she's not wrestling a bunch of small chicks that she can just throw around constantly. So it's good for both of them. Lyra gets the exposure. Like I said, she needed to go to the final for sure. I was worried about Io Sky possibly beating her in that semifinal match. I'm glad they didn't go that way. I'm glad they gave her the platform. She showed that she could wrestle with a bigger girl like that too. It's going to go leaps and bounds for Lyra. And obviously for Nia, she finally gets kind of that nod as far as moving forward. Does she win at SummerSlam? I don't know.
I think Nia? Oh, I think she's winning. I think she's winning.
How many titles are going to change hand in one show? I don't know. They're building SummerSlam for it to be 2 nights, right? Because that's in 2026 now in Minneapolis. I guess they missed out on WrestleMania, but they're going to get 2 nights of SummerSlam.
Consolation prize.
Yeah, go to Minnesota in the summer. Smart. But
Hey, Charles Barkley thought it was going to be snowing tonight.
I mean,
Somebody said,
listen, last year in May it was snowing in Fargo, but that's not the
Yeah,
point. I mean, it's not too far from Minneapolis, but
I
nevertheless,
gotcha.
I mean, this is it's good for her. Will it lead to a championship run? I don't know. I mean, because I don't know who's going to face her then. Is that the Jade Nia match at WrestleMania? I have no
I
idea.
think so. I think that's where it's going to lead.
I still think Jade and Bianca is probably the match you'd want.
Well,
But-
I'm not sure about that. I am sure that I personally believe Nia is going to take the championship from Bayley at SummerSlam, and I think Nia is going to go all the way to WrestleMania. It depends on the progress of Jade. Depends on the progress if she will be now. If she's not ready by Rumble, Bianca's taking that championship from Nia.
Or is it Charlotte?
Sick of get Charlotte do something else instead of compete for championships.
She's been out. Whatever. I mean,
I know. She'll have.
She's gonna be back by like November, December, probably somewhere in there. So I mean, or maybe she'll just come back for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So if she wins the Rumble, it depends on who's champion for both brands at that time. I don't know.
A little bit of a risk, by the way, from Triple H having two heels win the King and Queen of the Ring at the same pay-per-view. That's a bit of a risk. Actually, this was a unique pay-per-view. I believe more heels won at King of the Ring than baby faces.
You know, we said before, it's a building block towards a major event. You want to establish your heels so there's something the baby faces have to fight towards. This big mountain.
And a lot of times you do that at your B pay-per-views.
Yes.
But the B pay-per-views seem bigger because
they're getting paid more than they are anywhere else too to go Saudi.
To make this like, if you don't know, they put like the Wrestle Economics and others had like how much WrestleMania brought in economically and how much the Saudi pay-per-views are bringing in. And if you add up all 40, or at least the first 39 WrestleManias, and then you add up what they've been doing the Saudi pay-per-views for 8-9 years now,
something like that, yeah. Like
so I think I want to say there's probably about 15 to 20 events they've done in Saudi Arabia. You could make your entire revenue from this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why UFC went there, is going to go there and stuff too.
MJF came back. All right, look, I'll start here. We have a conflicting of interest among the community with MJF.
Oh, the streets of wrestling again?
We have a conflict. You're going to get a kick out of this. You want to know who did not like this?
The AEW fans that you were friends with?
Dave Meltzer did not like this. I think there is a conflict. There's MJF, I personally believe would have been perfect in WWE. I think, first of all, I personally believe he's being handsomely paid to return to AEW. And I think his mindset is, hey, AEW's in the dumps. I've been here since day one. I want to be the one to try to save it. So, okay, kudos to you. You know, if that's kudos. You've been there since day one. You're a homegrown talent. I understand. But he is such a sports entertainer compared to, like, it seems like he's in a different universe from what's been presented with AEW. Now, to me, MJF being back is much better than some of the garbage that's been presented in AEW
well,
lately.
MJF, compared to no MJF, you always want MJF.
Mm-hmm.
But can't even fight Cole because Cole's still hurt with his ankle. He's still months away from actually getting back in the ring.
I thought this was like I didn't think, first off, I think you could have just erased the whole Adam Cole thing in the first place.
Or just wait. Like, just fucking wait.
Wait for MJF to come back?
No, wait for Cole to get healthy. Have Cole build a story. MJF, antivirus protection is expired, by the way. You need to get that renewed. But like it's been a
live, by the way, live.
Yeah, there you
Watch
go.
this. Hold up. Let's explore this together, everybody.
You just
Let's
gonna cancel it? What are you
So no, I'm not gonna.
Well, you're blocking the options. I can't see what it
Okay,
is.
so the other option is uninstall.
Oh,
so watch
shit.
this.
You just gonna click out? Oh, you're gonna.
So
Okay.
this always shows up here. So here are my programs. Here.
Now you can exit out.
There you go.
There you go. Back to the guy. There you go. Lack of a better word with all this.
Gotta love our work computers here, Pete.
Still blame Pete for it. I don't know nothing about nothing. You don't know shit about fuck.
Hey. Great company.
But yeah, this is
back to Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
I think I've lost faith in this guy.
You've lost after one return. You've lost faith.
Not in him, in his decision making as far as where the best place for him to go was. Like, what are you getting out of AEW besides a paycheck? Dude, like the whole loyalty thing is great, grand, and wonderful, but we waited a long time for AJ Styles, and it sucked because he could have done a lot more and probably made a lot more money too.
But don't you feel that he felt that he had an obligation to save a entire company?
Good fucking luck. You're not going to do it. Look who's in charge. You made fun of him on the air for it. He's an indie mark who listens to Dave Meltzer. So you're probably not going to see much more of this then, too, because if Dave didn't like it, that means Tony's going to scrap it.
You didn't open a show.
Your top star, your top draw, your top money guy, and you open with Mercedes, who can't talk. Not the guy who can literally talk through anything. If you're going to open with a fucking promo on your main show, you put your best person out there. Whether it's your champion or it's someone like this, who was your longest reigning champion of all time, and who just fucking came back. You didn't even mention him. Little the fucking recap or whatever of the pay-per-view, but not like, hey, he's coming up. Nope. Enjoy being presented like a second-rate star, Max, because that's what you're not, but that's what you're going to get.
So is there a way
No.
for him to overcome that?
Absolutely not. Yeah, Tony Khan dies. That's how he overcomes it.
Jeez.
Well, I'm just being honest.
I know.
He's not going anywhere. He's like 30-some years old, so he's not like Vince. He's not like in his 80s and
well,
keel over at some point.
CM Punk once said things would change until Vince McMahon is dead, but but look,
and Tony's not selling.
No, but he has television coming up. And look. This is tough because I do think MJF, he's one of the few guys. He might be the only guy. And no, it's not a might. He is. He's the only guy in their company who actually moves the needle at this moment.
Maybe, too, because he hasn't been on TV in 6 months. So they fell a lot even just this past 6 months compared to where they were before. How long is this going to last before they start to keep going down again?
If Eric Bischoff talked about this, he talked about his shortcomings back in '99. When you lose momentum in professional wrestling as a promotion, it is extremely hard to get it back.
It's impossible.
And sometimes you don't get it back. It's almost impossible to get it back. We've seen examples even with TNA. TNA was up, and then they had major pitfalls with Hogan and Bischoff. Joy Forces in 2010, and they never recovered from their peak.
And the last thing that people remember with MJF was the face stuff, was the babyface stuff with Adam Cole. Well, a lot of people didn't like that.
Well, no.
So
he addressed that with this promo, him returning.
I watched
the problem, you're referencing Triple H. You're Triple H.
It's another dig at WWE.
You referenced Vince McMahon, who's no longer in the company,
who doesn't make decisions anymore.
Doesn't make decisions. So he's gonna. At some point, I would like to hear. All right, what was his reasoning for to come back? This is not sour grapes in the sense of, man, it would have been great if he was in WWE. We really felt that it was a complete missed opportunity for him not to be a major player in the hottest promotion in North America right
If
now.
he's smart, he set his contract the same way he did the last one, where it expires at the beginning of whatever year it ends. Because, like I said before, he's only, 27, 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He could sign a 3 to 4 to 5 year deal, still be in his early 30s, and go to WWE. If AEW is even around in 5 years.
That's the thing. I wonder.
Which I will.
I wonder. You know
will
what?
be,
I wonder. Did he pull a Kirk Cousins and sign a short, like 1 year or 18-month, 2-year contract?
He's locked up for at least 3. I know
that was like, do you maximize your money and say, hey, and use leverage? Hey, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the TV deal, but I'm the guy.
I'm bummed out. I knew it was going to happen. We kind of already figured he re-signed with them, but yeah, I'm just kind of sad that we're not going to get to see this guy against like Cody or Roman or Seth Rollins or Randy Orton or any of these guys.
Even
maybe
Braun
ever.
Breaker.
Yeah, well, the younger talent, the younger guys that are coming up that are being built up like fucking superstars. We're not going to see it, and it kind of sucks.
No,
it's unfortunate.
There's no hot feuds ready for him, and even if you would have said like, hey, have him immediately challenge for the world, for the world title, and maybe that would have happened.
Swerve immediately comes out and says he hasn't earned it. He's not getting an opportunity.
Swerve doesn't come out. They don't let him talk. So,
well, it was like an interview somewhere.
Yeah, they don't let him talk.
All right. Want to look at this again?
Over that side, that's Dynamite. Over here is Collision. TV deals are still up for grabs here.
I forgot where we were.
And we're cramming a lot here tonight. A ton of stuff here. Again, on the NBA side, it's not official. We're about 99.99% sure TNT's losing the NBA. But Tony Khan's disappointed. Behind the scenes, apparently Turner has put down an offer. And Tony Khan believes that the offer he's disappointed in the offer. And the exclusive talking period between the companies, I believe, expires from reports in July.
So now also take that for a grain of salt when it comes to being unhappy with it, because Dave Meltzer reported that he was actually not upset with the offer at all. He just wants more. So
I don't know if more will be available, as we talked about a few weeks ago.
Good fucking luck.
I don't think more.
You're not selling your pay-per-view on national TV. Your pay-per-views are your pay-per-views. So unless you go to a streaming company and take your pay-per-views off of that, and make it like WWE's and stream them exclusively on a Max or whatever it is, and bring in money for Max and that kind of stuff.
But and here's the other
shit out of luck.
And I know fans are AEW fans might be celebrating. Oh, TNT's going to lose the NBA, so there's going to be more money available for AEW. You don't understand. When they lose, if they lose the NBA,
it's their number one contract.
If they lose the NBA, cable companies are gonna when contracts are up, TNT's not gonna have the money from cable subscribers that they were bringing in when they have the NBA. It's not gonna be there.
They're gonna lose a lot of sponsorships that go on their airwaves on TBS and TNT.
And the company is already in cost-cutting mode, period. Everything that the CEO of this company has done has been tax write-offs. You notice the quality of Max has dropped in the last couple of years? It's tax write-offs. They're not doing anything to enhance programming. So the budget that we would assume would be there for AEW will not be there. It just will not be there. So, first off, I think Dave's wrong. I think he's trying to put on a public face for Tony. He has to be obviously disappointed. But at the same time, you can't put out crap programming at the same time, because if you're trying to talk to other suitors, why would we want the number 2 promotion when the number 2 promotion is trending down?
So, Dynamite still gets even at their worst, 600,000 viewers on average, whatever it is, on a Wednesday night on cable TV, that will be good enough for the 5th, 6th best show. There will still be someone that offers them something, but it's going to be significantly less than whatever TNT has already offered.
Mm-hmm.
So he's either going to get stuck trying to save face and take a deal that was either the same or a little bit less than he was offered originally.
Yeah.
Or he's going to not sign a deal before July with Turner again. He's going to go into this whole open negotiation. He's going to talk to companies like the CW and that kind of shit. He's going to be on these lower ends. They just don't have the funds to
and
offer.
WWE cornered the market. He can't talk to the CW. I know you said it as an example. Can't talk to the CW.
Can't. Peacock.
NXT's there.
NBC's Comcast still owns the
Can't
PLE
talk
stuff.
to any of them.
They have Netflix now too. You can't even use that as a
Can't
crutch.
talk to Netflix.
Hulu still airs shit for WWE.
Would you talk to Prime? Would you talk to Amazon?
Would Amazon want to take you on? Because they're paying all this money for the NFL stuff and NBA. They're getting an NBA package too. They're doing all these things. Again, big pockets, but at the same point, why? We have everything else going on. Why do we need this too? I mean, it's not going to be on television to be streamed.
Yeah.
So in your television audience, you're 5th or 6th best, but we can have stuff that's already top 3 anyway.
And scripted shows. Are doing that.
So we don't really need. I mean, thank you for the offer, but we don't really think we need you here. Like you're going to get a lot of that. So it's almost like he has no choice. He has to accept whatever offer they give. I think they will stay on Turner, but it's going to be tough.
Looking at the billboards that we picked out here, this is just for this week's shows, tapings. Looking at the headliners, Bryant's going to be retired later in the year. Adam.
He's out for the rest of the year. He's hurt.
Adam injured himself. You don't trust your world champion to talk. Samoa Joe, he had an angle, but
he's just older.
He's older, and also again, you kind of pushed him out of the rotation.
And then the one behind my head.
And then there's Sasha.
Also can't fucking talk.
So
when she's left to her own devices, she can't cut a promo. So yikes.
Yeah. All right, we are coming near the end here. So who needs to step up for the first time? By the way, for the first time. My person is there from last week, Carmelo Hayes. That was last week. That was my choice last week.
He didn't really do much. So little backstory on this. We don't know each other's picks for this. Also, we forgot to tell each other so we could put the slides up. So we're gonna kind of fly by the seat of our pants on this one. I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
But don't change yours to mine, because I wanted to try and have like a sidekick moment and see if we pick the same person, because we have no idea who we're going to pick. But I'm picking Dominik Mysterio. He is in a very unique situation where, like I said before, he's been able to get the ball and run with it every single time. A lot of attention is going to be on him. We talked about the social media clicks, everyone getting involved in the story now, Liv with the big kiss, all that stuff. Where does he take it next? Because the ball's in his court as far as what to do now, how to react, how to respond. How does he go about this? It's going to be important for Dom's trajectory to keep going this way up, to be able to take this and do something really solid with it. So do I think he's going to? Yeah, I think he hasn't given me a reason to doubt him why he shouldn't be able to do it, but he is the person I think that needs to kind of step into that next gear now. And really propel his character to the point where we are talking about, hey, world championships in the near future, that kind of thing.
I almost picked honorable mention, by the way, would be to Liv Morgan. Honorable mention, because she's going to have the biggest promo of her career coming up on Monday. She's going to have, she's been runner up all this time. She needs to deliver on Monday. The show's going to be built around her.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, yeah.
The show's going to be built around her. Becky came back to put her over. She's now over. Now, again, she's going to be, while Dom's conflicted, she's going to be in for the promo of her life coming up on Monday. So that's my honorable mention. My step up actually is going to be Cody Rhodes. Because what's next? I don't know.
Goldberg. No, I'm kidding.
Cody has to put over Gilbert. And when, no. I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows right now.
I don't. And Cody said he's going to be he's going to be in Scotland for the pay-per-view. He's fighting. I don't know who's up next.
You don't go to Randy that quick, I don't think. Maybe AJ. That story.
Randy's not ready, right? Injury wise, he wouldn't be ready.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Do they go back to Styles? Do they go back? Do you pull the trigger? I don't know. Do you try a newbie? Let's say they try a newbie.
Is this where maybe the bloodline gets back into the conversation?
And maybe
they haven't done much to really get there.
Or do you go to Santos? I don't know.
Santos be weird.
That's my point, though. I think Cody's my step up because he's now in a position where he has the champion. It's the undisputed champion. He has to make us want to watch his next title defense. And whoever he matches up against at this moment will probably not be at his level. Cody has a responsibility now as the champion to elevate the B-side opponent. And this is a unique situation because that championship has not seen this in over 4 years. Roman Reigns, because of his part-time schedule, only fought the top-level guys. And even when Roman was around pretty much every single week at the beginning of his title run, he didn't defend the championship every pay-per-view.
Someone who's not doing something right now that could really use a change of gimmick attitude? What the fuck's Kevin Owens doing? Cody's always said he wanted to fight Kevin again.
Here's the interesting backstory with KO. KO is probably an ideal B-level pay-per-view for your B shows.
And the story's there.
He's one of those guys, if you don't have anybody else to turn to, like, you're going to look back at Kevin Owens and say, wait a minute, he has a ton of title matches. Kevin Owens is one of those guys, if you have a month, like, if you have a gap, like, we need to kind of fill something here, you turn to Kevin Owens. And maybe you do turn to Kevin Owens here. But Cody has to be the person for us to want that match in Scotland. Cody will not main event this next pay-per-view. That honor will go to McIntyre and Damian Priest. But we still have to care about his match. And I think Cody, on Friday, he's going to have big shoes to fill because obviously he's not going to face Logan Paul again.
No.
That's done. So what is next for Cody Rhodes?
I think the obvious choice is AJ. Just because of the promos with Aldis and what's next for him, that kind of thing. I think that's maybe he attacks Cody to me. He goes further into the, heel type thing. But you brought up LA Knight. When in doubt, book a tournament or book like a fatal 4-way for his next, contender. Throw some of those guys in there. I don't know. Maybe throw in like someone who is English, too, something like that. I think are Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I think they're on that show.
I believe so.
Maybe. Maybe you throw like Tyler Bate in there or something like that, or one of those two.
But is it worth it to fight Cody? Cody has to.
Well, Tyler Bate's a former UK champ. He's.
You have to build him up quick to the American audience. You have to build it up quick.
Yeah. He be kind of like a sink or swim moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you put one of those kind of guys in, maybe it's Mello. Maybe you kind of throw him into the wolves right away. You're like, hey, you're not going to win, but like, step the fuck up.
You're a first-round draft pick.
This is your opportunity.
You're expected, these moments to deliver.
You had your taste of Cody before. Now what'd you learn? Because now we're going to give you a program with him. It's not going to be a one-off, one-match thing. There's ways you can go about it. I don't know. I'm curious to see what he does next. I think it's all leading to SummerSlam, whatever that match is. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I think we're at a point, and it goes all the way back to the beginning. I think we're at a point where June, a little bit of July, but especially June. June is the toughest month in professional wrestling because we are far removed now for WrestleMania. SummerSlam's not here yet.
Yeah.
So even in terms of long-term storytelling, which WWE is accomplishing, now to put it in NFL football terms, you're now, let's say you're in like week 8, week 9, week 10, where people are hurt now. People are injured. People are we talk about Becky. She's gone now. A lot of other people are still gone. So you're going to see wrestlers, you're going to see stars who have not been in a position to be in the main event. They weren't touching the main event at WrestleMania, but they're going to have their opportunity this month. They're going to have their opportunity at Money in the Bank and perhaps prove themselves to be an upper mid-card guy or maybe even a main eventer at SummerSlam. So you have that opportunity. A lot of people there to step up. So Dominik Mysterio for you, Cody Rhodes for me as far as stepping up. All right, that will do it.
I'm fucking tired.
I know. That will do it tomorrow.
It's been a long day.
Excuse me. That's going to do it for us. We'll see what happens next week. I honestly don't know if we'll have an AEW topic next week.
Oh, man, don't tease me like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to get an erection on the air when you do that.
I don't know if we'll have an AEW topic. I'm just saying. But
I say shit now just to see what Pete's reaction is going to be. Just like, don't worry, they can't cancel us because nobody owns us, at least not yet.
Follow us on social media, Side Hustle Podcast. Follow, the YouTube shows, TikTok. Follow us there. The interview last week did really well for us.
Fantastic.
With Anthony White, so that did well. Again, check that out if you haven't already. Cody Rhodes is stepping up in his life. He's going to be his best man. So Anthony, so that's going to be
27 minutes of your time you definitely want to spend listening to that interview. It was fantastic.
So
we appreciate Anthony for that too.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. We'll have more interviews and stuff coming. At some point, we'll have a Let's Fix It.
That's coming up next month. Yeah,
coming up
in June.
So
we have a couple of different options to kind of go through with that. We'll see where we're thinking, but where we've got the AEW one in the books all done, all saved up nice and neat. So we'll see what comes next for that. And
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Also, last day before we wrap, and we'll open this up to social media. I want to do. We're not doing a full episode, but I think a part of our weekly show, some point in June, I want to do like a, kind of a like what if kind of deal. Like somebody brought up, what would have happened if like Starrcade '97, like if Sting would have actually won clean, or one of these different type of scenario things. Like anything you want to get off. Anything fans want to get off their chest about professional wrestling. We'll kind of open up some questions and stuff. Like anything they want to get off their chest.
I love when we have show meetings in the middle of the actual show.
Yeah, because we ain't doing it at any point the rest of the week. So
you're goddamn right.
No, not at all.
We would hear in front of you.
All right, see you guys next week. Bye-bye. That was an awkward ending.
I didn't like break anything today, which was kind of impressive. Or throw shit, or... Well, I said two things that probably should have got me canceled again, but that's beside the point.
You want him to main event WrestleMania?
Who?
Brock.
Well, he wouldn't be the main event, but him and Gunther is the match everyone wants. Tell me that match wouldn't be sick, though. I mean, besides the fact that he has a pee fetish, but if he was actually in the match.
Pete, this was a great 30-minute show, wasn't it? All right, we're done. Bye-bye.
See you.